As always, I'm in the same foresty location. Today's very busy as it's Saturday night and came early. Usually I do this at 3 o'clock in the morning, and today it's only midnight and I had to wait on the bench for an hour to do this because I actually left early, as I said. And had to wait for an hour to get all these cars away, and now's a better time, so I'm going to be making this video now. Today I can't remember what I touched upon last time because I touched upon a lot of things. Wait, that sounds weird. I mean, I go over a lot of topics, but a topic I do want to talk about is like appreciation. But yeah, like appreciation in life, because something for me I always get in life is I feel like I'm on autopilot. Like a way to describe it is like, we're holding some cars passing. As always, I've cut this so many times now. Best way to describe it is like someone's driving a car and I'm the passenger. And I go to sleep, and when they drive somewhere, I know where we started and I see when we end up, but I don't remember the journey. That's how it feels sometimes when I'm not appreciating what's around me. That's why I try and do these videos, especially nature, because nature always, I love nature, I love the stars, I love the moon. I always go over that, I always will go over that, because it's something I love and it makes me feel down to earth again. And, you know, like it makes me feel like I'm really here. Because I always get like, especially like with who I am, I always get like states of these kind of, I don't know how to explain it, like episodes that I'm like, as I said, like I'm not, like I don't feel like I'm actually here, and it's a very weird feeling, you know. And then that's why I feel like a lot of people should appreciate the time they have, because for me, whenever that time disappears, and then I feel really concerned, because when I'm in the States like right now, where I understand that time that's passed and I can notice that, it's like I really need to value the time I do have before it next happens again, you know what I mean? And maybe a lot of people don't understand that, but the people who do, you really should understand that time, especially with people, because people don't appreciate who they have. And I always say this all the time, especially loved ones, people you love, like family, girlfriend, boyfriend, you know. People tend to get used to them and stop loving them the way they should be loved and cared for, and you should never stop. Just because you have them doesn't mean you just, you know, keep them in that cage in your heart and then don't let them out and, you know, show them the love that you didn't once before, you know. Like another thing is about that, which is actually another topic now, because my mind has completely changed again, and I'm sorry about that. If you guys watch my videos, you notice that I always love topic changes. But another topic change now is that there's a car coming. Can't even talk, that's a topic change. But I wanted to say, it's just like, sometimes I explain these things just so I can listen back, and it's like someone that understands me. Because one of the loneliest feelings in the world is no one understanding you. You know, not being able for them to be able to, you know, reciprocate how you feel or how they feel about a similar situation. Because if someone doesn't have the same things you do or have the same understanding of the situation as you do, then it's completely weird and different. So I keep looking down and around, and that's purely because of how many cars are here today. Saturday's a nightmare to record, but that's okay. At least I have the time to record. You know, I really wanted to record. I haven't made a video in a long time, and also, as I said, I've been in that state where I felt like time was passing me by and I haven't fully focused on what I like doing. I always go gym. That's somehow something I've always been doing for 3 years now, every single day for 5-6 days a week. But stuff like this, like drawing, skateboarding, recording, and like I always find it losing in the cracks of my mind. But whenever I do remember it and do realize what I'm doing, I do try and record it, you know, because I do like talking about topics that not many people talk about, especially like, because some of the things I say is not even half of what on my mind, but I know a lot of people do think in a similar way as I do, you know, and they just feel worried that people won't understand them or they won't talk out about it, you know. And I swear men's mental health month is this month, and we barely see anything about it purely because people are scared to talk out about it. And it's not just men, it should be women too, everyone's mental health is important. And I hate how most mental health is destroyed purely because of other people's cruelness and fear of being misunderstood themselves, so they misunderstand other people and completely take away their emotion of life to make themselves feel better. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not a nice feeling. Like, being weird and being yourself and being happy about who you are is what life's meant to be about. We're all meant to have individuality, you know. We're all meant to be unique. We are all our own artists of our creation of who we are, you know. And personally, I know this is a topic I don't really talk about. I don't talk about controversial things like God or stuff like that. But personally, I do not believe in that. You guys are entitled to your own opinion. That is, again, individuality. You can believe that. And I personally don't. So don't come attack me for that. But I don't know. I don't think... If I am the way I am and the life I've lived because God chose that for me, if he did exist, I wouldn't like that. You know, personally, I feel like that's very mean. And yes, there's God's plan and all that. But if God's plan is to torture if God's plan is to torture people, and then in heaven he'll take away what I am to make me feel better, that's just not me though, is it? Because if I've lived my life being mental, I guess I could say, or not normal, not the average person, why would I suddenly be normal up in there and be happy for the rest of eternity if I'm not even happy here? You know, like that's why I don't believe heaven can work. That's something I don't believe can work. How can I always be happy? How can everything always make me happy? Because then if you're always happy, you're never happy. If you take away sadness, you can be happy, but then that means you can be sad. So it just contradicts itself. And I'm best believe I'm not trying to take away anyone's belief or religion, and I'm not trying to like convince them of what I'm trying to say. But that's my personal opinion. That's why I don't believe in it. As well, the fact that like some things like gay people, for example, I'm not gay personally, like that's not me, but there's nothing like wrong with if someone's born gay, like, do you know what I mean? Like, we've always had that. And yes, nowadays people are more open about it, but that's only because we are more accepting, you know. And isn't it in the Bible you're meant to be accepting anyway? You know, so that's another thing. For some religions in heaven, you won't go purely because you're gay. Or, like, for example, Muslims, you know, that's the only one I can think of on the top of my head. You don't go to heaven if you're gay, you know, because that's a sin. But why should it be a sin for loving who you want? You know, like, if you're a dedicated Muslim, or dedicate anyone to religion, you know, and you dedicate your whole life to it, why should you be punished for something you can't control? If anything, God gave it to you because God knows everything. So he gave you that, he gave you to be like that, you know. So what else are you meant to do? You know, and in heaven, if you do go heaven because you didn't act upon it, you can't be gay in heaven, so how are you going to be happy? Anyway, I think I'm getting a bit sidetracked on this God thing. As I said, I don't really like talking about these controversial things. I mean, I do like saying my own opinions of things, but I do not like making people upset, especially towards things I say, because I know a lot of people have their... Religion is something that's very strong in people's minds and beliefs, you know, and that's not something you want to take away from them. Because if you take away someone's power source of life or what they believe, like, what is that person left with, you know? Yes, a lot of cars today, and I do love nature. I love these leaves behind me. I love this same lamppost I'm always behind, or not behind, it's in front of me. No, I'm in front of it, yes. I feel quite upset because this video is going very quick. So I'm going to cut this one short and make a whole new video on something new. If you guys would like to check that one out too, maybe I'll post that on Sunday. Yeah.